Hey guys, how's it going? Today I want to speak about the subject of how often should you visit family? Well, it really depends on how far they are from each other. Because basically, if they're at the other side of the world, or you just have a very busy work schedule in some ways, sometimes it's very difficult. But at the same time, you also got to realize that, especially for your mother and father, who have raised you, or whoever has raised you in your life, they're not getting any younger, same way that you're not getting any younger. And sometimes we take it for granted that they will be there for the rest of our life because they've been there since the beginning. They're the people that you've known for the most years. So you kind of rely on that fact, that stableness, that fact, that forever tree in some way that is there, that root. But the truth is that you never know when they will go away. My dad died at the age of 18, and in some way, in many ways actually, it has literally changed me profoundly, and it has made me realize how important the mom and the dad are, and how sacred it is, because literally they will probably be the people that will love you the most in your whole life in some way, you know. And if you are lucky, you might find another one person or something that might love you in that same way. But the only people, unfortunately, that you will actually ever be able to probably love as much as that are your own kids. And only then will you really understand what your mom and dad felt for you. And that's why it's important to, especially as time goes by, to try to give them money if you can. Or if you can't give them money, try to be there to support them. Try to listen to them. Try to help them out. And do the things you can do, because kind of owe it to them in some way, and they're not going to ask you for it, most of the time, because they want you to be happy. But at the same time, you got to think, well, how can you make them happy too? So sometimes it's good to make calls. If you can't go visit them, call them as much as you can. And if you can visit them and you can't even make the time, well, try to change it, because no job, nothing is actually more important than that. And that's what you got to realize. So even for me, I live in America, and I try to come back once a year for sure, but more so likely I try to go back twice a year, because the time flies and you just don't realize it. And a year is actually really short. 365 days can blend so fast that before you know it, one whole year has passed. But then once you go back, reset yourself, go back to that place, you might feel like you're wasting time in some way, but then when you look back, you're like, this was actually good. So I do believe that it's important to visit your family, to reset yourself, because after all, you only have one. And I'm not saying that everybody's perfect, and maybe you've had bad parents and stuff like that, but if you've gotten to an older age, or you've been able to live over 18 and stuff like that, you probably have someone somewhere that helped to raise you, be it a brother, a sister, a friend, a kind stranger, kind neighbor, whatever it is. And maybe they have become that family. And once you realize what it is, then you're able to basically call them family. So realize how important it is, because it's unique. And in some way, what's weird is that most cases, more than not, people will always say, hey, my mom was the best, or my dad was the best. And like I said, of course it's not perfect. Like some people will have horrible parents and stuff like that. But at the same time, we'll give it a good 70% of the time. People really do realize in some way, but at the same time, when you're a teenager, when you're young, really young, you just take it for granted that they're always there. But as time flies, they're not. So be there for them the same way that they were there for you, and then also kind of try to have that same kind of thought for the kids you're going to have, or whatever it is. Or if you're not going to have kids, the people around you, try to take care of them, and hopefully they will also take care of you, you know, because that's all we have on this earth, and that's what makes us rich, right? And if you don't have that, well, then you're not rich. Because money is trivial in some way. It's honestly printed and stuff like that. And physical things that we have, such as cars, clothes. Shelter is important because we don't want to be in the rain, right? And we want to be warm at night, and we want to have a place where we can put our stuff. But it's all just objects in some way. And these often can be replaced. Some are more expensive than others, but if you have enough money, you can usually replace things. Whereas a human being is not really replaceable at all. No one person will ever think the same way as the other person. Everybody's different. Everybody's just different, you know? So that's why you have to realize that, and you have to make time. Make time so that they realize too, because eventually when they're going to be gone, if you outlive them obviously, then you will think about those times and you'll regret it in some way. So that's my point. I'm not trying to make anybody guilty about things, just trying to make people realize, and kind of a reminder for myself that it's important to always say hello and always show as much love. And sometimes they may give you a hard time because they want you to live a certain way or do things in a certain way, and they might not be right, but sometimes it's a fight that you can't really fight with them, so you gotta accept that. And you do your thing your own way, but if there's any way that you can do to make them happy, at least in the conversation or whatever it is, and listen to whatever they're saying, then maybe you're able to make everybody happy in some way and find that compromise. It's a symbiotic relationship, right? Good comes with the bad, bad comes with the good. But you wouldn't be alive if they weren't there, if they hadn't given birth to you. So just enjoy it, and do know that probably most of the time that love will be unparalleled with anything you'll ever know. It's just that it's always been there, so you maybe don't realize that it's important. But yeah, don't make it an excuse that you don't have time, because everybody does. You usually make time for the things that you like, and it's kind of like saying, well, I don't have time, and then you don't eat, or I don't have time and I don't go to the toilet. But the thing is, everybody has to go to the toilet, everybody has to eat, otherwise you die, you get sick. And you can hold it for a while, and you can stay without eating for a while, but eventually if you don't eat, well, guess what? You will die. So it's kind of like saying that you can live without air. We need it. You need to make time. So make time for your family, make time for everything. Don't give yourself excuses, and treat them with respect. And if you can, and you're in any way able to help them out, then do. And if you're not able to help them out at this moment, well, maybe indirectly try to give those same values to your kids, or just show them love, and that's all that matters. Okay, have a great day, and talk to you soon. Bye.